World War II, a Nazi German submarine named U-1206 was hiding in the North Sea. The terror of the ocean lay below, while British planes patrolled the skies above. In this tense moment, the submarine's captain used the toilet and accidentally opened the wrong valve. Within seconds, seawater flooded the vessel, reaching the batteries and generating toxic chlorine gas. The crew was forced to bring the submarine to the surface, where the British Navy and Air Force were keeping a strict watch. They immediately destroyed the submarine and took all the crew members prisoner. At 200 meters below the surface of the ocean, there is absolutely zero margin for error for submarine. Even a tiny mistake becomes a message of death. It is said that a submariner's greatest enemy isn't someone else, but their own mind. Their world is merely a steel tube sneaking through the ocean hundreds of meters deep. The crushing weight of water above, the silence of death below, and humans caught in the middle. The crew living inside stays underwater, not just for days, but for months. In 2024, the HMS Vengeance set a new record by remaining submerged for an incredible 201 days. But this raises several questions. How do submariners survive in the depths of the ocean for more than 7 months? How do they manage the shortage of food, water, and most importantly, oxygen? What is done with toilet and other waste deep underwater? And if something goes wrong, like the U-1206 incident, what options do they have? Welcome once again to another video from Voxen TV. People often consider a submarine a luxury vessel equipped with every comfort. But in reality, being cut off from the rest of the world deep in the ocean is a massive challenge in itself, even if you were in a 5-star suite. In truth, a submarine is nothing short of a coffin. It is a narrow, tube-like structure designed specifically to swim hidden in the ocean's depths. The space inside is so cramped that 2 people can barely walk past each other. While Navy submarines look quite large from the outside, that space must accommodate the engine, months of supplies, and surprisingly, room for over 130 crew members. For comparison, where a normal prisoner gets about 80 square feet of space, a submarine crew member enjoys only about 20 square feet. So, if one were to say that submariners don't go on a mission, but rather a 6 to 7 month imprisonment, it wouldn't be wrong. There is no concept of privacy here. Every person's private space extends only up to their shoulders, and you are constantly bumping shoulders with someone else. This is where the submariner's first challenge begins: claustrophobia. In this condition, people become terrified of enclosed spaces, experience panic attacks, have accelerated heartbeats, and their brains struggle to function properly. Decisions made in this state often prove to be wrong. During the Navy selection process, claustrophobia is closely monitored, and candidates showing even the slightest symptoms are rejected. The very first challenge of submarine life is your sleep. If you have your own private bed to sleep in, you are lucky, because there is no such thing as a private bed for submariners. These bunks are tight, coffin-like spaces stacked on top of each other, where a person can only lie down. Sitting up is impossible. Lying on a submarine bed is akin to sleeping in a grave. In submarines like the USS Missouri, there are 135 crew members, but only 94 beds. This means different sailors share a single bed through a system called hot bunking. When one sailor wakes up for their duty, another sailor's duty ends at that exact moment, and they slide right into the same warm bed. The bed literally never gets cold. Even your sleep isn't entirely your own. It's dictated by the shift system. Because the submarine is hundreds of meters deep, where sunlight has no chance of reaching, there is no concept of day and night. Everyone has to adapt to completely artificial sleep cycles. You might be wondering how so many people locked in one place for so long get their food. When a submarine departs on a mission, up to 20,000 kilograms of food is loaded. Surprisingly, there is no dedicated storage space for this. Instead, The food is spread throughout the entire submarine, under beds and along corridors, with crew members literally walking over it. Fresh fruits, vegetables, and dairy products are available for the first few days and must be consumed in the early weeks. After that, the entire crew survives on canned and frozen food. Despite this, the food on submarines is considered top tier because it is the primary thing that keeps the crew's morale high deep underwater. If the food becomes boring, depression can spike. This is why long missions often feature ice cream machines and occasional steak nights. There are proper kitchens and chefs, but to minimize accidents, all cooking is done on electric stoves and ovens. Unlike a normal routine of 3 meals a day, submarines serve a total of 4 meals: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and mid-rat. Mid-rats are served after midnight because the submarine environment is highly stressful, causing crew members to burn more calories than an average person, and it serves as the sole source of energy for the crew working the night shift. Now for the most fascinating part: oxygen. Hundreds of meters below the surface, there are no windows you can open to let fresh air in. It is literally a sealed metal tube. Storing enough oxygen cylinders for that long is risky since oxygen is highly flammable. Instead, submarines are equipped with an incredible electrolysis system. It breaks down salty seawater, separating the oxygen and discarding the leftover hydrogen gas. A single person consumes 600 liters of oxygen daily. For 130 crew members, the system must produce 78,000 liters of oxygen every single day, much like an underwater space station. If this system fails, the crew would feel suffocated within minutes. But producing oxygen isn't enough. When humans breathe, they exhale carbon dioxide. With oxygen being produced and consumed, CO2 steadily builds up. If CO2 levels in the air exceed 10%, it becomes extremely dangerous. To combat this, modern submarines use carbon dioxide scrubbers. The air is passed through a tower where a liquid chemical called amine is sprayed, which absorbs only the CO2 from the air. If this primary system fails, canisters of soda lime or lithium hydroxide are placed throughout the sub for emergency. When air passes through these canisters, the chemical reacts with the CO2, turning it into solid carbonate. However, this is strictly for emergencies because once a canister is full, it becomes trash, creating a whole new disposal problem. From cooking and showering to laundry and drinking, fresh water is essential. However, the water surrounding the submarine is entirely salty. This seawater is purified either through distillation or reverse osmosis filter. Nuclear submarines, which have an abundance of energy, generally use distillation, while other modern submarines use high-tech filters to remove salt. Even though they can make their own water, there are strict rules for its use. No one gets a 15-minute shower. Submariners are restricted to a mere 60-second shower. Despite being surrounded by an ocean, a submarine craves every single drop of fresh water. Ejecting trash from the submarine is a massive tactical challenge. The water pressure outside is so intense that even a tiny hole would cause seawater to flood in like a tsunami. Exactly what happened with the U-1206. Toilet waste is initially collected in sanitary tanks. When the tank is full, extremely powerful pumps are used to blast the waste into the ocean. These pumps must exert more pressure than the ocean outside. During this process, opening the valves in the exact correct sequence is critical. If the outer valve opens before the inner one, seawater will blast into the submarine. Solid trash is compacted, packed into steel containers, and occasionally launched out through the torpedo tubes. Machines can handle the rest. But what about the humans? It is said that the human mind is its own worst enemy down there. Months without sunlight, virtually zero contact with family. The same smells, the same walls, and the same faces. Crew members can easily fall victim to depression, anxiety, and claustrophobia. A minor argument can turn dangerously volatile. To help regulate the mind, The submarine's interior lighting mimics a day and night pattern. Natural colored lights during the day and red lights at night to signal to the brain that it is time to sleep. Regardless of the conditions, the crew must make life and death decisions. In October 1944, a submarine named the USS Tang fired a torpedo. Due to a tiny calculation error, the torpedo launched, circled completely around, and struck the very submarine that fired it. Whether it's the U-12-6 toilet incident or the USS Tang's rogue torpedo, these accidents prove that a submariner's life isn't just about fighting the enemy. It's a constant battle against their own mind, their own machines, and the silent ocean where the only punishment for a mistake is death. We hope you will generously like and share this video from Voxen TV. Thank you so much for your lovely comments. See you in the next amazing video.